Hey guys, and welcome to Sounds Like NYC, the only podcast dedicated to spotlighting New York City talent. And today, we have Erica. How are you?
I'm well. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's a very, this is juxtaposition there by the way we talk.
How I'm doing?
I know how you're doing.
Yeah, that was rude. Why
Well,
don't
how
you
am I
ask him
doing?
how he's
Terrible.
doing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Then you do know. Yeah, completely right. Yeah.
But, so I guess tell us about yourself. Why are you holding a guitar in the interview?
Yeah, that's kind of rude. Not gonna lie.
It's just a prop.
It
Yeah, I'm
feels
a
like
total
you're
poser.
about to stab Daniel.
Yeah, I'm aiming it right towards you,
Well,
actually.
I got my own weapons around here too. So
yeah,
you
a
know.
couple of axes
Yeah.
of your own. Yeah.
Is that? Yeah.
Terrible.
But
Clearly
yeah,
I'm a musician.
yeah. But just tell us a bit about yourself. About like if you were to
Open-ended.
what's your bio like on your my
My
if you,
LinkedIn bio.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's like
My
what's your
elevator
kind of
pitch.
like
By the
elevator
way,
pitch of you as
I
a
probably
person?
shouldn't be showing this bottle because we're not even sponsored by Smart
If
Water.
you could get a Smart Water sponsorship, I would be back every time that you want. I
You know
drink
what's
way
funny?
too much
We
Smart
know
Be
Water.
our intern.
the first person we ever interviewed, I think she was sponsored by Essentia.
No way.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really the
Yeah,
sponsorship
yeah,
that I
yeah.
want.
Yeah.
I'm
Bro.
so thirsty right now. I totally should have brought
Put 'em
my
up
own
here.
Smart Water.
Yeah, right. We kind of fucking.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You want my elevator pitch?
Yeah, of you as a person, not even like anything music, but like, as you as a human being.
Me as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm still figuring it out, but I'll give my
Deep.
best shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. My name is Erica Enriquez. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I primarily identify as a visual artist, performer, sculptor, but also a musician as well. Do stuff with sound. I play the guitar, as you can see, even though I didn't know that this interview was going to be filmed. I'm also going to put that out there, which is why I look so sweaty right now, to whoever is watching this.
That's our bad.
Yeah, you said podcast. I'm like, oh, great. I can just pull up like after I went to the skate park and just be totally sweaty. And then you're like setting up these cameras. I'm like, all right, I guess.
Well,
I
you
guess
know
I'm
what that
prepared
shows,
for this.
right? You know what that shows, right? She doesn't watch the podcast, bro.
Yeah. How dare you come on and I haven't watched any of our
Shameful.
stuff. Shameful.
I saw the
Shameful.
first episode, the very first one where you're introducing yourself.
That would have been better. Not. Oh.
I thought that was just the intro, like, hey, this is what this is about, and then all the other ones were audio.
She'd be very, very.
That's
fair.
understandable.
Yeah, yeah.
That's understandable. Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong, Dave. We were in the wrong.
We are terrible at our job.
Yeah. But
I'm already having a blast.
Yeah.
It's fine. That was just my own personal disclaimer as a part of my elevator pitch about myself. I'm also sweaty, and yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I mean,
I don't know if that was very helpful.
No,
at all.
it was. So, like, how'd you get into, just like music and the arts in general? Was it something from when you were like young, you always wanted to do this, or was it something that kind of developed later in life for you?
I think I've always been doing it. Growing up, there was always music playing around the house. My brother's also a musician, and I also cut my record at my brother's recording studio as well, which we'll probably get to later in the interview, I suppose.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I grew up around a lot of music, and my mom is also an artist, and I was always making things. And then once I got to high school, I never really realized that you could really pursue art. I always thought that it was something that you do on the side and you have like your main job. I really wanted to be a teacher when I was in high school, and then I took
And
this.
then you went through high school and realized, ooh, these people
These
do not
kids.
get paid enough. Yeah, like
No, I had one really good art teacher.
okay.
And a really cool art teacher who really pushed me, and I took this one photo class where I did this piece where I made this small, it was kind of like a diorama, and I did a photo series of these miniatures, and then I just randomly submitted to an art show and got into the show.
I can start making money off of this. Okay.
And so I go to this opening. I'm 14 years old, and I'm the only kid in this art show of all of these adults. And I show up, and they're giving out these stickers that say artist or whatever, so people can walk up to you and ask you about your work.
I am finally validated.
And then I
have
show
this
up,
have
and then I go up to, I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm talking to someone. They're like, oh, you need to get your sticker or something. I'm like, oh okay. So I'm wearing this artist sticker, and then people are giving me the dirtiest looks from all of these artists being like, who's that? What is your piece? Whatever. And I sold my piece on the night of the opening reception.
How much money do you make?
I probably should have charged more. I really didn't make much. It was
Yeah.
maybe.
It was 3 mil.
Like no, it was like maybe like $200.
Okay,
like
that's
that.
not bad though.
Like
Like,
as a 14-year-old.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't know,
it's
but
out of a
I show
whim.
up and everyone's like, upwards of like $500 for all these prints.
that's a lot of bacon, egg, and cheeses.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And I didn't know at the time. But yeah, I think that was definitely a moment where I'm like, oh wait, like this is maybe something that I could pursue. So then from there, after high school, I went to visual art school. I went to the Rhode Island School of Design and studied sculpture. I like played a little bit of music in college, not so much, but then I moved to Brooklyn, and yeah, I'm really close with my brother, and he plays a lot of music, so I was kind of like inducted into his musical.
So, are you
community.
from the city originally, or from Rhode Island?
No, I'm from upstate New York.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
sorry that I made that bacon and cheese joke. Do you get it? The
I
bacon
do.
and cheese- Okay.
I
No,
do get it. I'm from New
you
York.
people who
Yeah,
are
I guess
from
the-
outside
yeah,
the
from
borough,
a-
you guys don't understand.
From
Are you,
above.
did you grow up in the city?
Yeah.
Oh,
NYC,
okay.
born
So
and
that
raised, yeah.
okay. So
Yeah,
both
no,
of you,
I
this
just-
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
That's
I-
why you can claim the
We
title.
just love
Okay.
shitting on people that aren't from the city.
No, he does. Like.
We talked about this
Yeah, we
last
talked
time.
Oh, you did.
We
Okay,
talked
you
about
did. No,
I make it very clear
Yeah.
to everybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like if you're not from the city, you're of a lesser.
Totally.
So,
yeah, it makes sense.
Like, why'd you go to school in Rhode Island? Were you just like confused, like Staten Island? Like you thought? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll go to school in the city. Staten Island, yeah, that's in the city, right? Ends up in
That's
Rhode
an
Island. Yeah, because like
Island
Rhode
isn't
Island
even
has to
an
be
island.
like one of the most isolated. Like for me,
smallest
like,
state, right?
Yeah, and like,
it's a tiny state.
it's not even in like the public. Like I've never heard a story like on the news or anything. Like even like meme, like nothing out of like Rhode Island. So why would you choose to go to like?
Just shitting on you, basically.
No, I'm
no,
totally
I'm-
here for it.
no.
I would love to shit on my
I'm bashing
institution.
Rhode Island as like a concept, as an idea.
No,
but,
I
like,
would honestly like. I love New York.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm never leaving here. But Providence, where I went to school, really cool town.
really good
honestly.
fish.
RISD's okay. I have some bones to pick with the school.
Yeah, sure.
I'm very grateful for my education there, and they have a lot of cool alumni. If you've seen Family Guy, Seth
Oh,
MacFarlane
Seth?
went there, yeah. Or if you know like Talking Heads.
His first name like you know the guy.
What if, how do you know? What if she becomes the new Meg? Like
Oh, don't
like
say
voice
that.
awful.
Come
No, voice
on,
character, you know,
come on. I'm
take
putting my hat on
Mila Kunis out of her position. I feel like you could do it.
What?
No, just like kind of like taking Mila Kunis's position as Meg. Like
I don't know how I feel about that. But anyway, yeah. No, RISD's definitely like a
Oh, that's what it's called?
Yeah, RISD, Rhode Island School of Design.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool, okay. No, because this sounds like the name of like a rundown bar. Like, you know, yeah, bro, let's go to Risty's, you know. 5 for 10 tequilas or something like
I mean, to be fair, it's probably nothing you do in Rhode Island.
just like drink, yeah.
Just drink.
I still, again, I don't really want to go back to Rhode Island
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much.
So like, just like tell us
But-
about like your experience there, because it seems like you might have
Yeah.
been like, yeah, just like tell us, just tell us.
No, I think it's a very special place, honestly. I think because it's so small, the community there is really caring.
Like, how big are we talking, or how small are we talking?
Like my school, or
Yeah, like the school.
So undergrad and grad is around like 2,500 people, something like that.
Oh,
Tiny.
that is
Yeah, it's small. And I also, my high school was really small. It was like pre-K through 12. And I graduated with like 40 kids in my class.
Jesus Christ.
You guys
Yeah.
are best, like anime level, but like, you know, best friends probably, like all the way from like, you know,
Yeah.
pre-K until
One of
like.
the bands that I play in right now, the drummer I've known since kindergarten.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, it's a really like, you know, I guess I kind of surround myself with these like very tight knit communities.
yeah.
Not that I would say that RISD's a very tight knit.
Yeah. So like, so what are your bones to pick, as you were
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. I think again, super grateful for my education there. I learned a lot. I learned a lot of skills that I didn't think that I was going to. So I majored in sculpture. So I learned how to weld and woodwork and work with concrete, do
Nice.
all sorts of different things that are really practical and have helped me, you know, post grad. But going into art school, I thought I was going to this place where it's going to be a community of artists, all these people that are like me. And in some sense it is, but I don't know. There's a lot of cloud chasers, and there's a
Probably.
lot of.
I mean,
the thing
Seth
about art.
MacFarlane.
The thing about art school is that all the kids that go to art school were like the weird kids in high school and are now trying to be the coolest kid in art
be
school.
cool.
Which, like, I get
way to
that.
put it, yeah.
Which is kind of what it is, and like it's very unique in that way. And I think there's a lot of there's definitely like some cool people that I met out of that school. But that's actually like why I started skateboarding in a lot of ways.
Wait, so you started skateboarding in like college?
Yeah, in
Because
college.
it just seems like that's somebody like you never
Just late
learn
to
it
the
in
party.
college. Yeah,
I'm
like
kind of late to the party, basically.
Yeah, no, you're supposed to learn when you're like in 7th grade and stuff. But also like it's a very male-dominated thing. So like the reason why there's a couple reasons why I started skateboarding. I was taking my freshman year. I was taking this class. It was called Art and Economy, which obviously sounds like a great thing to learn.
sounds
about.
super fun.
Super fun. And nobody was paying attention for like most of the class. But like I'm a big
One class
nerd.
I feel like you should pay attention when it's
Okay,
about, like,
so it was taught.
economics
Well, I mean, that's
and-
how
The
artists
class-
think, though, right?
Yeah.
That's
The
just
class was
artists think.
taught by like this crotchety old white guy.
Okay.
And yeah, nobody was really taking the class seriously, but I'm a big nerd, so I was like obviously listening, even though I probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And I would always bring up questions like, hey, are we going to talk about the gender wage gap or like anything having to do with women in the economy? And he would just say like, this has nothing to do with the curriculum of the class and just brush me off.
Women aren't a thing.
Yeah, like low key, that's
They're
like
a
what he was
figment
saying.
of your imagination.
Yeah, so I would just get so heated in this class, even though like I probably just shouldn't have let it bother me because there's I don't know bigger fish to fry. And one day I just like walked out of the class and I walked down the street and then there's this one.
Just like a skateboard, just like rolls past her.
Okay. So right around RISD's campus, there are a lot of skate spots. So there's this one huge monument that like there's a lot of skaters that convene over there. So I'm walking down College Hill and I see the monument. There's all these like macho boys like with their kick flips doing all their shit, and I'm like, there's no women in the skate scene. I need to learn how to skateboard so I can represent like women in this world. Blah blah blah. I walked down the street into Civil Skate Shop, bought my first skateboard, and I've been skating ever since.
So you started skating out of spite.
Out of
That's what you're
spite.
saying.
Yeah, out of
pretty
spite.
cool, yeah.
And then I realized like, oh wait, this is actually something that like I really care about and I'm like weirdly addicted to. And I'm really am very inspired by the way that skateboarders can perceive space and that like architecture and urban landscapes can then be transformed based on
Anything
your
is skatable if
perspective.
you just try hard enough. You can
Yeah, exactly. And like it's kind of cliche and it's like kind of a joke within the
Yeah,
skate community at this
yeah.
point because it's like, you know, skater boys trying to like make it into like it is an art form. I think it is an art form.
No, definitely, yeah. I mean,
And you know, I again like I have a love-hate relationship with skateboarding in the same way that I do.
how
with
come? Is it
RISD.
because of the gender issues you talked about before, or just
Yeah,
like
and I don't. Yeah, I think it's mostly that. It's mostly that. It's kind of it's a complex thing, and skateboarding is changing so much right now.
oh, how so?
Too. Even just in like the past like however many years that I've been skating. So I bought that skateboard. I didn't really skate too much until like my sophomore year, and then some like things happened that I just like really needed to separate myself from the RISD community, and like got really into skateboarding. And
Was it the presidential election or?
Oh yeah, that I think had something to do with it.
Okay.
I guess I can go into this. It's kind of a personal thing, but I guess
mean,
we're
yeah,
kind
sure.
of here
Let's
for
get as
it.
As long as you're
personal as
okay with
possible.
it.
You want to get as personal
let's
as
do
Yeah,
possible.
it.
something that we could just milk on YouTube, really,
Oh,
just like the
jeez.
most.
No, I'm actually
yeah.
about to get like kind of serious though.
Okay, yeah, okay.
that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah, no, because all of these things are kind of like tied into this. So yeah, RISD's cool. It's like a very like hard like emotional environment to be in.
Because of the art aspect, very competitive, or
The art aspect and like I really think that art school romanticizes the idea that you need to be tortured in order to be an artist, and it's really a hard environment to be in. Yeah, so you know, my sophomore year, I was like getting into skateboarding. I was like kind of like hanging out with a new group of friends, and then I found out that one of my close friends from my freshman year had taken her own life, which was really, really hard. That's the first time like I've experienced something like that in my life, and it was really hard. And I just really needed to separate myself from RISD, and got really into skateboarding. I had like a really tight knit group of friends within the skate community there that like helped me get through all of that. But yeah, it's a definitely, you know, it's a complex thing for me, skateboarding. Because on the one hand, I have like a lot of like kind of issues with it, but it's also like very inspiring. And it also like got me through some like really hard things. So then at that point, you know, a lot of my sculptural work became about skateboarding, and making sculptures that are skateable. So I would like make these like sculptures, and then I'd bring in like some of my friends from the skate community into like the critique
Prototyping
space.
it.
Tear it down.
Yeah. So like we would have like these, crit spaces or like these gallery spaces where like every couple weeks, you would present a sculpture and like people would critique it. And I'd bring in all my skater friends and we'd just like fuck up the whole space to the point where like I did a couple of them like outside on campus at RISD. And like the RISD cops would come and be like, "Hey, like you can't. There's no skating like on RISD property." And I'm like, and then my teacher would go up and be like, "Oh no, this is like for a class. This is like a performance
This is
piece.
art.
Yeah, this is a performance piece." And they'd be like, "This isn't acceptable." And we just move across the street where we're like off of RISD's campus.
How dare you tell me what kind of art is
So I became
acceptable?
really interested in like that kind of language around the art world too, where like, oh, if you say that this is a performance piece, instead of saying like some kids are gonna come and skateboard on this ramp,
This is gonna be
it's
yes,
totally
it.
yeah, and like that's and how like I can use that power and that privilege of being tied to this institution to be able to bring these people in the local community into RISD.
Yeah.
I mean, something that I want to talk about, like we talked about, prior to the interview, is like your idea of like art doesn't have to be precious.
Yeah.
Right? So once you put it out there, it's just everyone's thing.
It's everyone's art. Yeah, and I think like in some sense like it's cool to I love the process of making too. I think that's like one thing about RISD that like really like in a weird way kind of like nurtured that like I have this love for making and like being forced to be making stuff all the time. Like wow, like it's kind of like I'm killing myself like to try and finish this thing before critique. But also I'm like, wow, like I'm addicted to this thing. And I like it really made me realize like, okay, I know like regardless of anything else, like I have to be like making stuff. But also like, yeah, I have like issues with the art world too. And that like, the white cube is like a toxic and like historically like
White
kind
cube?
of violent place. Yeah, the white cube gallery, and like
just like
yeah.
blank white walls. Just
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think that art doesn't have to be and like shouldn't be so precious. So when I go to a museum, I want to touch the thing.
She's gonna hate the next episode.
What's the next
99.
episode?
That already came out, bro. That's not the next one.
I mean, well, it doesn't mean that she's seen it yet.
She obviously doesn't see any of our
Okay,
episodes.
I don't-
You made it obvious. No, but because
Well, you said our next episode. Like, it hasn't
whenever
happened
it
yet.
comes, episode 99 is actually taking place like in like a white cube.
No, look, it's
gallery.
cute. It's cool. Like
Yeah.
I love. Again, like you can't really love something unless you hate a little bit.
Yeah.
We were talking about that like with New York too,
That's
and
just things our like friendship, right?
Yeah, that's the only reason we work.
Yeah.
If I loved you too much, I wouldn't have this with you.
yeah, and
You up.
there's a lot of issues with a lot of different things, but like I don't know, if you love it enough, you'll stick with it and you'll want to make it
that's
work and
understandable,
you'll
I
want to
guess,
fix
like-
it. Like so as much as like I don't really fuck with galleries. And would rather make like community oriented work. I mean, if someone came up to me and was just like, "We want you in this gallery tomorrow," I'd be like,
Right.
"Yeah, I mean, I'm down."
Bunch of rich buyers, take it or leave it.
Money.
Yeah, because I mean, like in a lot of ways, like if you're making work for like a gallery or like the White Cube, you're just making it for rich people to buy
No,
for
definitely,
their
yeah.
collection
For sure.
to gain social capital. So
I
like,
bought this from a minority.
yeah, it's just like, oh, this is gonna be the next big thing. So I like want to like invest in that,
Yeah.
and that you're just like an object for their social capital,
Yeah. So are you, cause for you, is it like, or like, what is your objective with your like artistic side of thing, or do you just like kind of just like tell me your 5-year plan?
Isn't that the big question? Like
Yeah.
what is your objective with your art?
No, yeah,
like
'cause do you want to make
who
money
is
off
your
of it, or
audience?
Is it just for you
Yeah.
selfishly, or
No, I don't think any of those things are mutually exclusive. I
Mm-hmm.
think that like, of course, like I'm making it for myself, and like I derive a lot of like pleasure from making,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like obsessed with making. But yeah, it'd be cool to like make some money off of it. Like, who doesn't want to make money off of like the stuff that they really love and they
Bernie.
like to do all the time? Okay, yes. But I don't know. I think that's something that I'm really trying to figure out right now, to be honest. Especially like coming out of the pandemic, and like I graduated 2019, so like I was like in New York for a little like less than a year
One of the lucky
before the
ones.
pandemic
Right.
happened. So I feel like around like February, March, I'm like, oh, like I feel like I'm like starting to gain my
yeah.
community in this place. And then the
Corona.
and then the pandemic hit.
same?
But through the pandemic, I was also able to start this band,
Yeah.
which is presented a unique opportunity to be like making work in
Yeah.
your own space in your own home.
And we
So-
were able to take this podcast Really to the next
Wait, so
level,
this
right,
was a COVID
David?
project?
Huh?
No. So
Oh.
it was like Corona project, but it was through the Corona where we're like, okay, we got
Maybe
nothing
we
else to
should
do.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Maybe
put
we
more
should take
time
this
into
seriously, yeah. But
I
like,
mean, definitely like since Corona, like we taken it a lot more seriously. Just posting a lot more, just because we have the time. To,
Yeah.
like, and I guess like just the mental space in order to like, okay, cool.
Not to
So
go crazy.
This is like what we can do. We can plan this out while taking this time that we have nothing basically to fucking do.
yeah, exactly.
But like going to that, like, how does all of this go into music?
I was just about to say that maybe as a very great segue, we could have her perform one of. So the name of your, because you have multiple bands that you're in, right?
Yeah. I have like 2 bands mostly.
Okay. Which one do you like more?
Oh gosh.
If you had
on the
to- if you had to kill one of them, which one would it
you had
be?
to like put one down, like just
Well, I'm gonna have to choose my own band as the one that I like.
You
the
heard it here,
most,
folks.
I think.
yeah. Okay. But that is for me to say that it would be a great segue for you to perform a song
I'd love
from
that.
Choo. Are you guys just like called Choo Choo Band or just Choo Choo?
We're just choo choo, like
Yeah.
choo choo, like the train. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then
It fits well with this podcast.
yeah, exactly. Then what song would you like to perform from Choo Choo
Yeah. So
or of
I'll,
Choo Choo?
yeah, I can give a little intro on choo choo.
To be honest, you could like do just like a whole song if you want to.
You want me to just play a whole song?
Only if you want to. You do
Yeah,
you.
I would love to. So my band Choo Choo,
Choo Choo.
Choo Choo, which is this band that we were just talking about. That was kind of born out of COVID. A little bit before, like our first show that we had. Okay. So my brother owns a recording studio, and they just recently moved to a new space. But prior to that, it was in his apartment building, and in the basement of his apartment building, in the trash room, they were putting together like a show, and we thought it'd be funny to be like, oh yeah, like there's gonna be this DIY show at like the trash room, secret location. Well, it was just like a fucking dumpster. And my friend who was like putting the show together was like, oh Erica, like do you want to like play some songs? And at this point, like I wasn't really in a band, but I've been writing songs since I was a kid. So I'm like, yeah, let me put together a band. I'll like play some of my songs. So I put together this band, and then that eventually became Choo Choo over the pandemic. Yeah, so that's kind of the origin story of Choo Choo, and we recently put out an EP.
Started from a dumpster.
It started from the trash room.
That's a good song,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, and so we just put out an EP. It's called Laundry Day, and our single is called Pulaski Song, which is about the Pulaski Bridge in Greenpoint, or that connects Greenpoint to Long Island City. And we recently put out a music video for that, and that'll be the song that I'd like to play now.
Boop.
Just wanna tumble with the rest of you. Hot sticky shells of bodies pressed and glued. Cap full of flower blossoms foaming blue. Outside your window, see me peering through. Running over the Pulaski, always almost miss the train. Sweat through fresh laundry. Should've waited one more day. Running over the Pulaski, always almost miss the train. Sweat through fresh laundry. Should've waited one more day. the cycle on my laundry day. Wash me away. Jump in the cycle on my laundry day.
So hey guys,
Start again.
Shut up. Why? So hey guys, welcome back to this episode of Sounds Like NYC, and you just finished listening to Pulaski's Bridge, or just Pulaski.
See, this is why I
Pulaski
told him to
song.
start again.
Pulaski's.
Okay.
It's fine.
Pulaski Song.
Oh, Pulaski's Song, which is based on your experience with the Pulaski Bridge. So I'm kind of right.
You're right.
I am.
It wasn't
Ballpark.
really the name of
I was
the
in a
song,
ballpark.
but that was it.
Forgive me for my ignorance. But yeah, I mean, so why did this bridge, did this piece of architecture, inspire you to make a song?
Yeah, so for starters, CHOO CHOO, well, not so much anymore, but we're a Greenpoint-based band. I used to live in Greenpoint. My drummer was my brother's roommate, lives in Greenpoint, and my bass player lives in Greenpoint. And yeah, that's a Greenpoint landmark. But the song I wrote the song because I was going home upstate, and I had just done my laundry. And I was carrying all of my laundry, and I was running over the Pulaski Bridge to the 7 train to get to Grand Central. Because I'm like, all right,
That's a bridge you can walk on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They have, like, a whole, like, pedestrian, like, pathway. Yeah, and I had, like, just done my laundry, and everything was clean, but, and I had just showered, and I had everything in my hands, and I was running over the bridge, and everything was falling. And I'm like, I'm gonna miss the train, like, and I was gonna go meet up with my parents for the weekend or something like that. And so I finally, like, get to the train. I'm like, oh, wait. That's a thing. And so, like, I wrote that down, and that became Pulaski Song.
A song about barely or missing your train?
Yeah,
or like,
yeah.
Were you able to actually get to the train
I
in time?
ended up getting to the train. I was sweating, and I totally sweat through my clean laundry, which is what the song is about. And pretty much the EP is about as well.
This is about that one experience.
It's just about, like, laundry, pretty much, and, like, watching it tumble around in the washing machine and feeling, like, envious of that, the cycle and the continuity of those clothes in there, and, like, having that kind of purpose.
So you just had like an existential dread,
Wait,
like at the laundromat.
yeah.
Was it at that laundromat that you guys like filmed it at or no?
I used a different. I used a different laundromat that day, but the laundromat that we used is also in Greenpoint. M&W Laundromat. Shout out Ronald.
Check
He's
them out,
the
guys.
man.
They got the cleanest, freshest.
I called like so many laundromats for this music video.
Oh really?
Oh
So,
yeah. I called so many, and like
That had to be a fun weekend.
it was, and because we had one day in May that we could shoot this music, we shot the whole thing one day. And I was very lucky to have like a really tight knit crew for this video. Sabi Portillo filmed it, and Tiff Ing made this hat and also directed it. And yeah, so we had one day to film this, and so we booked the day, and I pretty much had like 2 weeks to get everything together. So I had to get all the props and the costumes and find a laundromat space, because Pulaski Bridge, that's free to film at, but then I had to find a laundromat, and it was for the vision that I had for this video, I'm like, we need to have a laundromat. So and I really wanted it to be in Greenpoint too, because we're a Greenpoint band about Pulaski Bridge. So I called like 20 different laundromats, and like, some of them were like, yeah, you can totally film here for like
$500.
like over $1,000.
Are you serious?
Over
way.
for like a couple of hours.
All in quarters.
And then I ended up finding M&W, and they were super sweet over there. And yeah, we did pay them, of course, because I was fully prepared to pay the place, because you're letting us use your space and roll around, and we want to give you visibility too. And if we're going to do something, you deserve to be paid. As an artist, as people out in the world doing things. Yeah, if you're going to provide a service or a space, you deserve to be paid. But yeah, we ended up like finding them, and they were really nice, and really let us just totally tear it up in there.
It's pretty cool.
Quick question: if you could, let's say you could own a bridge, right?
Own a bridge?
You own a bridge, right? And
my
do whatever the
bridges.
fuck you wanted with it. What bridge would it be?
Oh gosh.
Wouldn't that be the bridge that she dedicated a whole EP to?
See,
essentially?
I would buy the Pulaski, but for a very different reason.
Because it's a drawbridge.
No. I would make sure that it's always open. So people would have to like drive around to get to Long Island City, just like to fuck with people. That's what I would do.
You would just have it up the whole time?
Yeah.
That's so mean.
Yeah.
Why? Just why?
During
I'm
the
an
video,
asshole.
it actually it went up for part of the video, which was like a very special moment.
Yeah.
Because we were almost getting kicked off the bridge as we were filming. But then
Slide down. Whee!
but then all of the bridge workers were just like, how long are you guys gonna be? Like, we have to like put the drawbridge up. I'm like, oh, just a few more minutes. They're like, oh, okay. And then like they start putting up, like, okay, we have to do one more take right now. While it's going up, like run with the laundry. And so we ended up like getting that, which was really cool.
Quick basic skills.
It was also like the first 90-degree weather day of like the spring too.
That was nice.
So it was not nice.
Oh,
at
yeah,
all.
well, I guess
It
it
was
wasn't
so
nice.
it was so
Have you been in New
hot.
York City in the fucking springtime? It's disgusting.
I think so. Yeah.
It's awful.
It
I mean,
was very
right
hot.
now it's more. Like,
Right. Well, yes. Now today was like 90 degrees out. Also,
Yeah.
again, hence the sweating appearance that I have.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a very hot day, and then I had two of my friends who helped us because we had to like rent a U-Haul for all of the gear. Cause we had
Oh
all
my
the
God!
light
It was that much.
stuff.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, so you guys
yeah.
were like really going, not just
Yeah.
somebody, but just like
with
you
a
know,
camera. No.
yeah.
We fully like we got a whole lighting set up, and we had to rent this U-Haul, and then I had some friends who were helping like carry all the gear.
That's nice.
Bless them, honestly. They came from Crown Heights to Greenpoint and city biked in 90-degree weather.
City bike.
I know,
Why?
that's some good friends. Yeah, my friend
but,
Gio
like,
Rodriguez and Amasha.
We live in New York City. There's trains. Why city bike?
How fucking hard is to get from Crown Heights to fucking Greenpoint?
But in a 90-degree weather day on biking from that distance, that's a couple of miles.
Good friends.
Yeah,
They're
good-
very
jeez.
good friends. They're very good friends. I'm very lucky for them.
Years.
So
Oh, man.
go watch that video. If you haven't watched the video, go watch the Pulaski Song music video. It's beautiful. We had a blast, and it was 90 degrees outside.
How did you repay those two friends? Because bro, I could just.
Well, got everybody lunch and paid for their. I definitely got them an Uber back home.
Yeah.
I did not let them
see.
go
All
back
right, guys, I'll
home.
see ya.
No way.
Order
no
like
way.
a Uber XL. Just
So, I'll walk you guys over to the city bikes.
Yeah, but my friend Gio, one of the people who came and on the city bike I met him through a job that I had, my first job that I had in New York City. In Brooklyn, we worked at a preschool together.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's from California. And if not for that job, I never would have met him. And we both ended up like not working at that preschool anymore after COVID.
Just gave the
like the
kids.
kids who
No,
suck?
just give the kids like what's called like
That's
THC
another-
pills and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
Just smell them out.
Listen to the CD.
No. No, but and all of this is to say that like New York is a very special place because like I was working at a preschool with this guy and now we're really good friends and he helped me shoot a music video. Like how amazing is that? New York is a very special place.
Yeah, definitely. So like, let's talk about kind of like your musical style. Like for you, I mean, we really knew about your art half, but like, how did you start music and how do you think you developed your musical style?
Yeah, I think my musical style, I mean, like, it's very, like, rooted in indie rock. I write, like, singer-songwriter, kind of, like, sad girl music. But I don't know, I, like... I grew up listening to, like, Stevie Wonder, and I grew up in upstate New York, so, like, a lot of Pete Seeger and Levon Helm and the Allman Brothers. So a lot of different kinds of genres are influencing this music, and during the pre-interview, I was mentioning to you, like, I'm really into like Thundercat right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and so like I'll listen to his music and like hear like a bass chord. I'll be like, oh, that would be such a cool.
That's a good bass chord.
Yeah, it's a cool bass chord. I'm like, and so like most of my
chord now.
songs, I like use bass chords. I like play triads for like most of my music.
Okay, yeah.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
so I have like it's very like groove oriented, I think, and like
Okay.
my bass player and my drummer and my brother as well. They all like went to like music school for like jazz or like composition.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, that like making sure like there's like a fat groove is like pretty important
The
to the
fattest.
music. Yeah, it's really important to the music, but it's also
Because
like I'm
you're-
like singing sad girl
Yeah,
lyrics.
no,
you know?
because your aesthetic, just like on like a cursory pass, would not. I would just think like indie rock.
Yeah, and
like,
it is that,
alternative.
It's definitely like, grounded in that, but like I totally like take influence from like so many different things.
Okay, I can't. Or
Let me just say, the song's fucking good.
Yeah,
Thank
the song
you.
was
Yeah,
great.
like
the song, yes, that's what I wanted to
why
say.
we were able to connect was because like I featured the song on like the Sounds Like NYC, new music
And I did
Friday
not listen
playlist
to it.
plug
That's
on it. But like I was just scrolling through Instagram. I was like, yo, this song fucking slaps.
Thanks
And it's
so
just
much.
like maybe I just like sad girl music. Maybe that's just me.
There's nothing wrong with it. Right now, there's a huge sad girl movement going on.
Yeah.
Like Phoebe Bridgers,
girl's
Lucy
so sad.
Dacus. There's a lot of reasons to be sad as a woman.
Okay.
But it's really powerful stuff. Like these singer-songwriter greats right now. Like seriously, like Phoebe Bridgers is fucking killing it right now. All of those, like Snail Mail. I love Snail Mail also. I definitely like have some like Snail Mail kind of vibes with my music.
No
I
idea
would
who
say.
that is, but I will
Listen to
listen
Snail Mail. She's
to
really
her
good. She's really good.
No, I think I've heard it before. Yeah, it sounds slightly familiar. Yeah.
Christine,
Alexa,
you know.
play Snail Mail.
No, don't do it. No, David.
She didn't do it.
She didn't do it. She didn't do it.
No.
There you go.
Alexa, stop.
Okay, so
But
like,
yeah, so it's
yeah.
these Riot Girl
yeah,
singer
no, right,
songwriter
right.
people like definitely like taking a lot of influence from them, but also like. Yeah, I like neo soul music and I like
Yeah,
hip
dude,
hop
neo-soul,
and stuff like
yeah.
that. And even though like this music isn't that, I definitely like am thinking about those things like as I'm like writing these songs.
Dude, just like invent your own, subgenre. Just like start putting in neo soul influences and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think like by nature, like that's kind of like infused in the music, without me really trying. Or like my brother will be like playing like one sort of like chord, like, oh, what is that chord? And then I'll like write a song like based off of that chord that I don't even know the name of,
Yeah.
And I
So
think
like
we were
for
also
the Sharp
talking about
11.
like how like you think in like terms of like loops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
how does
so
that
very
work?
what's her face? She just got this signature guitar with Fender, Australian, big looper Taj. You know who she is Taj something. Taj Suvance.
I don't know if I know.
Oh,
I know
you
Ed
would love
Sheeran
her.
does that too, though.
Ed Sheeran.
Talk about
I'm
Ed
not
Sheeran,
like
David.
Ed Sheeran.
No, but like Suvance something, Taj something. I know she's Australian. Snapback, very
Australian.
dresses like
there you go. That
dresses
makes,
like very chill, stonery.
Are you talking about Napalm from Highest Coyote?
No, like she's like a girl.
Napalm's great.
I'll send you. Oh, I
Send
guess
me-
that
yeah,
person. I'll send you, but like I think you'll like definitely groove with her because she's more.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think you'll groove with her, but yeah,
Oh yeah,
please
but
continue.
so like
Sheeran,
the
but
loop
it's all right.
thing. So yeah, I grew up playing music with my brother, writing songs, and then he went to college, and I'm like, fuck, who am I gonna like play music with? So I invested in a looper pedal, and I started just like
I'll play music by myself.
playing music with myself. Though I ended up like forming a band in high school because like everybody does, but like yeah, I was like all my songwriting like starts with loops.
Daniel, look at the
Bless
look.
you.
There's a sign right there. There's a sign right there.
My
Please.
mask is over there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
But continue.
bless
Sorry
you.
about
Regardless,
that.
it's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so all my songs are like loop oriented. So I'll like come up with like I'll be listening to like a Thundercat song. I'll be like, oh, like I really like that song. I really like that chord.
How
So,
can I
like,
rip this off?
Let me like take that chord that he's using out of like the thousands of chords that he like puts into a song, and then I'll put that into the looper, and I'll be like, oh, okay, that's kind of fun. And then like I'll put I have like a drum machine. I'll put like some sort of drum groove into the looper as well. Then I'll like start singing some random words over it and come up with a melody, or like I'll just take a voice memo of the loop, and then like I'll listen to it as I'm like walking around in the street and like sing things, or as I'm like cooking dinner. Like a lot of my songs I've written the lyrics just like while I'm cooking dinner, just like listening to the voice memo and like.
I
just
get what you
singing
mean
stuff.
because I have probably 3 albums worth of just like voice memo melodies I could probably expand into like songs, and it's scary.
Yeah, it's all about voice memos, honestly.
You know what's funny? I used to do that same thing
Loopers.
too, but they just never left the voice memo app. They just stayed there forever.
I want to listen
all
to those because
eternity.
I never even
Ooh,
because the
boy,
biggest thing
let
that
me
happened.
tell you,
the
there's a
biggest-
reason why I don't play music anymore.
Yeah, because his thing, his like musical peak was just being a John Mayer fanboy.
John Mayer fanboy.
like the last 2
It has
years.
not stopped. It has
Yeah.
not
You
stopped.
love John Mayer?
I love
You
John
don't?
Mayer.
I think he's a good guitar
We're
player.
gonna have to
I think he's a really probably obnoxious person.
Oh.
Well, no,
Well,
like he was. I guess.
yeah.
He
like-
definitely
There's
is.
a
No,
type-
not-
there's
not
a type
now,
of
I
guy
think.
who's
He
like,
was-
oh, he's a great friend, but like as a person who's like involved with him in any other sort of way,
Yeah.
he's probably an asshole.
Well, like, cause I know he because he like admitted that he was like a narcissist and stuff like that. But I was like,
that's such a narcissistic thing to do, though.
No. That is true, right? But I would like to think he's kind of like come down from that, especially as he's getting older and stuff.
Fun
like
fact.
We can hope that
we're like 2
John
connections away from John Mayer.
Yeah, we are actually
What do you mean?
legitimately. So we have a friend.
Yeah, Dewey Head On has a friend
who toured with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi,
So we're gonna get John
Who did you
Mayer
have?
on soon.
Yeah,
Wait,
so
who's your friend? Who's
eventually.
your friend?
I can't tell
let's-
you. You can't tell you.
Is that? Are you gonna like
Maybe
stalk
I know
him?
them. Maybe
Oh,
I know them.
Yeah, because your brother isn't.
But yeah,
like, how
so
big is he
brother
into
probably
jazz
knows.
and stuff
My
like that?
my brother is well known. My brother is Pete Enriquez. He is the head engineer at Short Stack Studios in Greenpoint. Go check it out if you ever need to record anything.
Does he know Snack Cat Band at all?
Snack Cat.
Snack Cat.
Yeah.
I'm not my brother, so I don't know. But maybe he does.
Yeah, maybe he does. Yeah.
My brother tours with a bunch of different bands.
Yeah.
If you know,
Jazz
like,
scene in New York City is like pretty tight knit. No.
Yeah, jazz fusion.
Are they a jazz
R&B.
band?
No.
Okay,
no,
he probably
no,
knows them, 'cause my
they're
brother
not
went to jazz
They're
school.
more like fusion R&B-esque. But
yeah,
I
that's
guess jazz,
totally
stuff
what
like
my
that.
brother's music
Yeah,
is. My brother also has a band. His band is called Honey Trap, NY, and
That
they
sounds oddly familiar.
Honey Trap because they had the residency at Arlene's every
Oh
Thursday.
yeah, you said that before.
Yeah. So every Thursday they would
That's so
have
cool having
play a jam
residency.
session.
I want to.
They had a
I want a
residency, yeah.
residency. How do I
Super
get me one of
talented,
those?
and they're like neo soul kind of music.
Damn. Well, I guess I can. Yeah, no, but because for you, like, okay, so you've basically gone over how you like create a song and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But-
I'm very looper oriented. I'm
Yeah.
a singer songwriter.
Yeah.
I also like.
So is
bad
it?
beats.
So do you just like kind of like depend on your brother, just like for him to like record and like mix and produce everything?
I'm very
or-
lucky to have my brother who recorded and produced all of my. He's been producing my music since I was a kid, pretty
That's
much.
nice,
I mean,
yeah.
that's kind of he said like that's how he got into recording and engineering and stuff like that. Was we have above my garage in our childhood home, we had like this little shack that was our like recording studio.
That's cute.
And so we had like Garage Band, the program. And I would like write these like corny songs, and then he would like practice recording me do those, and then
That's
we
great,
put them out
yeah.
on SoundCloud or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he went to school. He also went to school in Rhode Island, which was kind of fun too.
Well, wait, so did you? That's so funny. Like
That's like 50% of the class right there. Just
Yeah.
two people.
So again, because like New York, like there's like, I mean, just in like the northeast, there's like Berkeley, not too far away, or even NYU. Why like Rhode Island? Like, do you know why?
So my brother went to Brown, originally for for neuroscience, but then realized that he needed to be a musician.
That's crazy. He's just like, yeah, he just went to do like brain surgery.
Yeah.
And just like jazz was jazz
bro.
is more important than like
Yeah.
Everybody's
surgery.
lives.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
No, you can
when you
save
have
your
a
life with
passion,
jazz,
you know what
David.
you know what it's about.
No,
and
that's
then
really
but then he
cool,
did
yeah.
go. He went to NYU
Oh,
for
okay,
grad
yeah.
school.
Cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if he knows.
My brother knows
doesn't.
everybody.
Probably does it.
No,
How does? Wait, how does your brother? No, they're not too young. They're already like mid-20s.
Who?
Oh, Seuss and
Oh, word.
yeah, like Carol G's guitarist. Do you know who she is? Seuss Vasquez. Do you know who she is at all?
I don't know.
Really, really talented guitarist, but like she also went to NYU and she was also on the podcast. So we're just like thinking maybe they like
very big like Latin.
yeah, Seuss G. Like, do you
Oh.
know who Seuss G is? Seuss G. It's no.
Carol G.
Oh my, I'm such an idiot. Yeah, Carol G.
This has been said before.
Yeah, there's been
by
Carol
multiple
G.
Parties.
I'm not sure.
Oh well,
I'm
like
not
she
sure.
tours.
But yeah, my brother went to NYU
Okay.
for music, and yeah, that's most of my friends and my drummer also went to NYU. And yeah, I'm definitely that whole NYU music scene.
Was
I'm
the
pretty close
jazz
with.
degree worth the crippling death?
I thought this interview was about me. No,
No, I mean, was your
didn't
degree
have
worth
your
the crippling?
brother
Yeah.
I because I know how my brother feels about it, but I don't want to speak for him.
Yeah, of course. not.
Was it worth it? Yeah.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, I don't think
You
I
say
would
that with
have.
so much skepticism. Yeah.
I wouldn't have traded it in. I'm glad that I did it. It was like a lot of money, and that's like a bummer. And I think one of my biggest problems with RISD, outside of the fact that like art kids are kind of mean, is that like there wasn't a lot of room to do a lot of interdisciplinary work. And so I was in sculpture, which was great because like sculpture is inherently very interdisciplinary. But as a sculptor, like we couldn't really use the facilities from any other majors.
Oh no, I get that. Yes.
Well, but I'm like, dude, we're paying all this money. Like, you're telling me I can't use like this loom or I can't. I didn't do any ceramics work.
Yeah.
That was a totally different major. I didn't have access to any of those materials unless I took like a winter session class.
Okay.
And then I could, and if I was somehow able to get into one of those classes, then I could do it. But beyond that, like once you're in like the major, you can't really deviate from that so much, which is a big problem, you know.
Yeah, I definitely get that. Because it seems like NYU is more like, or at least there's like a bigger sandbox from the people we've talked from like NYU where like you have like all these facilities and stuff like that, even only within your major, like lots of like,
RISD definitely has really nice facilities. But the sculpture facilities are really nice. They had a whole foundry, so I was doing all this metal work and multiple wood shops.
Making, what's it called? Thor's hammer.
I don't know what you're talking
blacksmithing, that kind of thing.
Blacksmithing,
metalsmithing,
like
yeah.
that.
They have a whole major for jewelry and metalsmithing.
Really? Making katanas, like all the weaves that enter the
It was definitely cool for that, you know? RISD was cool. Like, I learned a lot of really awesome skills and, like, got to play with materials. And I did bronze casting.
Ooh, what did you make?
Which was a wild thing. I just needed small sculpture.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But, yeah, like, just to learn that, like, very old technique of, like, casting molten metal, super powerful.
Badass. Yeah,
it was
just makes you
cool.
feel.
It was very
just makes
cool.
you feel powerful.
Yeah, and just like the amount of time and the technique of like having to like do this thing that is so permanent. Really beautiful process.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah.
Maybe I should have gone to fucking art school, bro. Maybe it's not too
I feel like
can.
you would have found some reason to drop out. Regardless, like you were in like school for like a year and a half, you like dropped out. Not even like a year and a half, right? Like 2 semesters was it? Yeah, he like dropped out, which I respect him for because he's not in like lots of debt like I am.
I am, but for different reasons. As one is.
Where did you go?
SUNY Oneonta. So
okay, cool. My cousin goes there.
Oh, probably how old are they?
They like this is their first semester.
Oh, so I don't know.
You definitely wouldn't know them.
What are they studying though?
I don't know yet. I don't think she knows. Okay. But she's on the lacrosse team.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I have friends on like on the lacrosse team.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I don't know too much about that school.
Because where's your hometown?
So I'm from the Hudson Valley. I'm from Newburgh, New York. It's across the river from Beacon, if you know where Beacon is. Dia Beacon, the museum. Or Storm King Art Center, if you've been there.
Definitely don't know where
Have you seen that show? Have you seen that show, Master of None, the Aziz Ansari show?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm trying to think of all these landmarks for you. You're not helping me out.
Albany. All I know is like Oneonta, Albany.
Okay, so
area.
I'm not even as far up as Albany.
Okay, so you're like above Westchester, above. Okay, New Paltz. Are you above New Paltz?
I'm close to New Paltz.
Okay, then.
I'm like 30 minutes from New Paltz.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had a lot of friends like in high school who like were from New Paltz.
Okay,
cool.
I
spent a lot
and
of time
sorry
over there.
if we seem like we're being like assholes about just
oh
like
my
not.
God, no, you're not. You don't need to apologize.
All.
I know that you're not. I'm totally having a blast. Yeah, it's funny to like talk to people who are like from New York because I'm from New York, but I'm not from the city, so I'm not really from New York.
Yeah,
you know,
you guys don't have the best PR upstate. No, I'm just like because it's annoying because I know because David, if you say anything, I'm gonna leave. But
Japan.
I hate you for this, you know that? Because anytime I mention my life in Japan,
because any tangent
it's relevant.
You go to,
it is
always
relevant.
goes to Japan.
No, it is relevant to the conversation.
Why is it always relevant? How is it always relevant?
Because I lived there for a while. So
you lived in Japan?
Yeah, I lived in Japan. But I was gonna say that it's annoying for me because when I tell Japanese people that I'm from New York, they have this sort of like glamorized, gossip girly, like in general, kind of like the outside world, like outside of like New York City's perception of NYC is essentially from Central Park and down, and that's it. So it's always annoying having people. Oh yeah, I want to go to NYC and stuff like that. I'm like, I want to live in NYC. And I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Yeah, exactly. Like, bro. Like, I mean, again, I am very jaded living here all my life. So like for me, I've been through the struggle here.
Anything you love, you kind of hate.
Yeah, because I've said that like despite how much I love this city sometimes, like if it's like in like America, it's only between here and like LA where I would like really want to live. Maybe like Nashville because of the music scene, but like not LA. Yeah.
Only in New York. I'm never.
Yeah, David hates LA.
We talked about this.
Yeah, we did talk.
Oh, you guys talked about
we talked about
I make it very, very clear to everybody. I hate everything outside of the 5 boroughs, even Staten Island. You know what? Fuck it. The thing that I said before, which bridge I would fucking destroy, it would be the Verrazano. Yeah, it would be the Verrazano. So then it would have to be adopted by Jersey. Because there's only one bridge connecting Staten Island to New York, but 3 that connect us to New Jersey. How does that make sense?
I never knew that until now, but yeah, like used to joke, like, you know, Staten Island is just like, you know, south, just like a southeast extension of like, is it southeast or? Yeah, southeast extension.
Just east.
Of
East Jersey.
East Jersey, just like East Jersey, essentially, yeah. But I didn't know that there's like 3,
It's stupid.
Yeah, that is dumb.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
But like, so one of our flagship questions on this podcast is, how do you feel like being in New York City has changed you as an artist?
Mm-hmm.
I probably
got that hat.
True.
I did get this hat.
Hat, yeah.
I did get this hat. Even though the person who made this hat also went to RISD
Oh, cool.
High School.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But is also living in Greenpoint.
Yeah, it does that. Stupid light.
Did it stop recording?
No, the camera's okay.
What were we talking about?
So,
New
like, how
York.
do you think New York City has, like, changed you, affected you as a person?
Ooh, I think, how has New York City changed me as a person? I definitely wouldn't have a band or, like, a musical community without New York. I mean, all of my family is in New York. My brother is in New York.
So we're talking about New York City specifically.
New York City, yeah. Yeah, I mean, because, you know, my brother is here and, like, went to MIU and, like, has all these musical connections to, you know, the scene here. I definitely, like, wouldn't have this band if not for New York City. And
is there anything, like, more personally, kind of, like, emotionally, personal growth-wise?
Yeah, with a city that gets you mad so many fucking times out of the year.
Yeah.
Why do you stay here? Like, what do you feel like makes you that much of a better person or artist, I guess, from being here than just, you know, like fuck it, I'm gonna move to, you know, but fuck no, we're whatever the fuck.
Upstate New York.
New York is the only place that I want to be.
Wow.
Period. I mean, like, because my family's here, and there's nowhere else that's like New York. I mean, there's so much happening here. If you're in art, visual art, or music, or anything creative, like, you either go to New York or LA or, like, I guess, like, Berlin or something is cool. But, like,
I guess, like, Berlin.
I mean, not that
like
I've ever
London,
really been
just
there,
like,
but like, not that I've really been there, but like, yeah, I mean, it's not even like a question for me. It's obviously New York.
Now I see why you guys vibe.
Like I told you before,
I
it's not,
really don't even think I have an answer for you because it's just so
she is New York,
obvious.
Right,
You know what I mean? Like it's only New York for me.
I mean, for me, it's just sort of like slightly the opposite way.
I hate this place so much. I love it.
I hate it so much, but I hate everyone everywhere else that much more.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of like I'm just stuck here.
David's general contempt for men.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
oh my god.
It's just endless here, you know? And it's fucking disgusting here too.
No, definitely.
You know what I mean? It's disgusting.
Hey.
I have a horrible mouse problem in my apartment right now.
Right,
that builds character.
It does. But it does. It 100. I wouldn't want to go anywhere else. Yeah, it's so gross.
We do not
no
want
doubt.
less
and it's
rats in your
dummy
apartment.
expensive.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, from if you list all the characteristics, it sounds fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But it's 100% worth it. It's 100% worth it.
Please let property prices continue to fall. My family was finally able to like afford a house here because of the pandemic. Please, guys, just like, please don't come back.
No, it's really tricky, but like like you said, it builds character, and there's so many people here, and there's so many people that like care about what they're doing. Like if you don't care about something, or you don't really care about something, and you're gonna be here on, you won't last anywhere. You won't last.
Yeah,
You won't
true.
fucking last.
Yeah.
If you have something that you want to do. And then you try and do it here. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of which,
I can't even use language
this
right now.
podcast, I mean, all things considered, I can't really move anywhere because of the pandemic and stuff like that. But this podcast is probably only one of my main ties to like the city.
Really?
Boom.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you do? I don't.
So I'm a musician
sorry.
myself as
Yeah.
well.
Okay,
Okay, so
cool.
I guess we're interviewing me
Yeah,
now.
I'm
hey
turning
guys,
turning
Daniel
this around.
Shadrack
Welcome
Reed here.
back through the boroughs.
No, but I
Sounds like New York, and we have
yeah. No, but I do music, and the goal, say something, and I'm gonna smack you, is to be a professional
Japan.
musician in Japan. So
In
like
Japan.
that's what I'm
So
like
what's your
moving
thing
up
with
towards.
Japan?
Huh?
What's your thing with Japan? I have a very close friend who's from
Oh,
Tokyo
cool.
and is moving back to Tokyo very soon. But
Yeah, sorry
yeah.
for that. Yeah, just like exchange me.
Stuff in a suitcase.
Yeah, I could lose a few. pounds,
Foreign
put in, like,
foreign
a-
exchange program.
So
Yeah,
what
foreign
is it?
exchange
What are you?
rate.
Why are you
No.
trying to go there? Why are you leaving this wonderful, horrible city?
Yeah, the music industry in Japan is really great,
Mm-hmm.
and the rock music is still pop music in terms of just like it being
Mm-hmm.
very very popular amongst everybody and stuff like that, and just like the music there, the culture, some aspects I do like, and just like I don't know, I just like because for me. Japan, like I started to get interested in Japanese culture when I had an identity crisis.
Mm-hmm.
So it was something that I could latch on to, and I thought the culture was like really cool the first time I was like exposed to it. So like just like a combination of like those things. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I think you bring up like rock music as popular music, and I think that's a really interesting conversation
Yeah.
too, because like nowadays and for like a very long time, like the singular artist has been like a prominent thing in music. Like, when you think of like a popular artist, it's always like Ariana Grande, who's like one person, or like Beyonce, or like whatever, like these singular people, and it's not so much like a band. You don't think about like a band.
yeah.
But I think that like is really coming back right
Yeah,
now
yeah, definitely,
in
yeah.
music,
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Because how do you think? Because like, I mean, do you have any music industry insights because of your brother, or just like your own other connections and stuff like that? Like, where do you
What's the
think?
secret?
Yeah. Yo. What's the big next? What's the next big thing? Yeah.
Choo choo. No.
Guys, you heard it here first.
All right, and that's it. See you
Then
guys.
see you guys in the next episode. Yeah.
No, I wish. No, I mean, Choo Choo's really a passion project. Yeah, it'd be cool if like some people listen to it, but like, yeah, I mean, it started in a dumpster and with my friends, and like, it's,
And it will end in a
it's-
dumpster.
From a dumpster,
I
it was
met you- I
born.
met you guys
To a
through
dumpster,
it.
it will die.
Poetic.
I met you guys through this thing, and like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think music is really powerful in that sense. What did you fucking ask me in the beginning anyway?
In like
I
the
think
very
you
beginning.
forgot.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you asked me if I have any like musical insights or like what's
Oh,
the,
yeah,
what's the
yeah,
next
yeah,
big
yeah,
thing. Dude, I don't fucking know. I don't know. I mean, like girl bands are fucking killing it right now, and
Yeah,
they should
that'd be
keep
really
killing
cool
it,
because the concept of like girl bands in Japan isn't really a thing. Like there were like bands of like full girls that get together, but you know how like female fronted and those type of
Rag
like
girl bands?
bands with just like a female singer aren't just a rock band. They're a female fronted rock band, but that kind of culture.
Keywords, bro.
Yeah,
Just
but
keywords.
like it's kind of people could see it as kind of like condescending, or why you don't make the distinction, because like especially for me living in Japan and getting to experience the music industry there, like there's no such thing as that sort of like
It's just a band.
yeah, it's just a band, and it's like full of girls, and they do market it that way and stuff like that. But in America, like it has like a very different connotation, like where they're in their own almost like separate category of rock, even though at the end of the day they're making the same music
Yeah.
as like other bands that don't have like a female fronted band or like a majority girls and stuff like that. So for me, coming back from Japan and just like it just felt weird to me, but I do appreciate, huh? Anyway, what do you think about that?
No. What do I think about?
Yeah, about just like
women
the
in the
place.
music
Yeah,
industry?
women in like rock and in kind of like your genre specifically. Like, have you had any like negative experiences? Or?
Oh my god.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Damn.
Of course. I mean,
Yeah.
like as a woman in a creative field, like you're it's twice, if not three times harder as a woman and a person of color to get anywhere, I think that growing up in upstate New York, while I was in high school, I did live sound at this jazz club.
Cool.
It's called the Falcon. Go check it out. Really cool jazz music venue.
Well, it's upstate, so I'm not sure.
I
gonna
know
go.
you
I
guys
was
won't
gonna
be able
go.
to make it,
No.
but if anyone is upstate,
If we find
go
you
check
going,
it out.
we're gonna hunt you down.
In
David's gonna
Marlboro.
hunt you down. Yeah.
Sniper ready.
But yeah, I was like in high school. I like played some sort of. I like played a show there. Because there was like a gallery opening that had like
This
some
isn't
stuff up on
jazz.
the wall. And I like no, but I was playing a set, and then I did a cover of a Radiohead song, "No Surprises." And the owner, Tony Falco, came like running out from behind, and like he loves Radiohead.
Okay.
And I like did this. I played this song, and then afterwards he was just like, "Wow, that was like really awesome. Like, do you want to open for the band that's playing tonight?" I'm like, "Oh
okay.
shit, yeah, I would love to." And so like I opened for the band, and then I formed this relationship with Tony Falco, and eventually like interned there, and he taught me how to use the soundboard and all this stuff. And the following summer, he was like going on vacation with his family for like a month. He's like, "Oh, so like you're good, right? Like you can like just run. You can just run the place."
Just, like, run
I was
places.
16 years
He's like,
old.
okay, so here are the keys.
Yeah, literally though.
Here's our
Literally.
accounting books. You do you, fam.
I paid the band at the end of the night. I was 16 years old.
That's nuts.
Yeah. But like he had that kind
That's
of faith
so
in
good.
me, where
Yeah,
like
that's
he showed me how to run the board, and like these bands would come in, I would sound check them, I would run up on the stage, right, like as the band was about to start, introduce the band.
Where's the gaff tape?
I'd introduce the band, be like, "Hey everybody, welcome to the Falcon. Like this is so and so band."
That's so cool.
And I'd do that, and I'd run up to the sound booth, I'd run their sound, and then they'd finish their set, I'd like break down everything, I'd pay the band at the end of the night.
so
and
cool.
I was like 16 years old, and I was running this jazz club pretty much, but which was like amazing and was very empowering. That like Tony Falco, like really shout out to Tony if you're ever gonna see this, because he believed in me and gave me that confidence to like
That's so
be
cool.
on stage and to like have the control of even just like a volume knob. It's so powerful.
Yeah.
Because
Shut up.
but that being said,
Shut up my volume to my
There-
volume faders.
some of these blues guitar players are so rude. All of these like old like white dudes like calling me sweetie and like saying like being very condescending to me, being like, "Oh, like can you put me up in the monitor, sweetie?" This
Do
and
you
that.
know
I'm
what a
like,
monitor is,
yeah,
sweetie?
exactly. I'm just like, I can
know,
actually
if it goes
turn you
up,
off
it gets louder,
entirely.
right?
I
It
can
goes
literally
down,
turn
it's
you
quieter.
off entirely if you speak to me that way. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
but
we're gonna see how much, we're gonna see how well you can feel the blues tonight, sir. There's like 10 of them coming off in the monitor.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's the thing. Is just like the sound person has all the control. So be like to all artists out there and everybody watching, like be kind to your sound person.
Give them cookies.
Just be.
We like
Don't
cookies.
be an asshole. I mean, they're there to help you. Like don't be obnoxious to them. So learning to like be behind the scenes and like being lucky enough to have like a person like Tony who like believed in me has like definitely given me a thick skin and made me stronger to like navigate the music industry, but also like it exposed all of these things about like these horrible people who are going to treat you like shit, and like look at you and call you sweetie, and like I'm a 5 foot tall small Filipino girl, you know what I mean? So like people to this day, I told you, like people think I'm fucking 16.
I know those are the girls to fear the most. The smaller the girl, the more the more dangerous
you gotta
they
be
are.
tough. You gotta be tough.
Yeah.
But like it's cool.
Yeah.
You meet. There's good people out there, and you learn. And at the end of the day, you gotta be tough, especially in this city. You know. So that's maybe I guess my like insider knowledge about like the music industry. That like you gotta be fucking tough. And like if you do something enough, like it's gonna work out. Like you're gonna find people and. You gotta just keep on doing the thing that you really love,
I am moved by your words because I am struggling right now.
It's not over yet.
Yeah,
not over
hopefully,
yet.
yeah. Because I've been, trying to get my foot back into the,
It's not about
into
us.
the
Are you in it?
It's
Are
about
you
this
in it?
podcast.
No, so I was doing live sound like at 2 different venues.
Oh, where?
Before the pandemic. Shapeshifter.
Where's that?
It's in Park Slope.
Okay.
No, not Park Slope. Park. What's the? Yeah, Park Slope-ish area,
Okay.
and then the cutting room for like
Oh,
a bit,
wow,
but
okay.
only for a bit because the pandemic came like
Got
2
it,
weeks
got it.
into my internship.
Yeah, there's a
and-
story behind that one that
Yeah.
will tell you.
Yeah, and
behind-
then-
Off
yeah,
the
yeah.
air.
No. Well, I talked about it on my own personal videos, but like we could
I
talk
have a
about
friend
it.
who
Yeah,
works at cutting room.
yeah, huh?
I have a friend that works at
Yo,
cutting
it
room.
might be
Yeah,
that guy.
yeah. The cutting room is amazing. It's wait. Oh, you have a friend?
Yeah.
Tall white dude?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like now?
No.
Oh man, he might have taken my internship position.
He worked. He's worked there for like a bit.
Oh, okay. Then
maybe.
I probably didn't.
Yeah. We can talk about this.
Yeah,
later.
wait, black dude?
No.
Okay, he's not him. Okay, but I'm just like trying to slowly get back into the industry, whether it's like studio work or live sound. I have like one opportunity that might, you know, evolve into something more. But I'm just like trying to get back to it full time, especially with my own music as well. But
It's so hard.
Yeah, it
It
is.
really is. It takes a lot of
it
courage
is.
to be doing something.
Yeah, but like
this,
you're
you
so
know?
cool and you're so amazing. No, it's cool because she's
Thank you,
like
I appreciate it.
making a life for herself through her art, music, and
Trying
her
my
like
best,
sculptures,
you know.
and she's made her connections and all that jazz, and it's inspiring. I
It's
guess.
not. You make it sound so simple. It's really not.
Yeah.
I'm miserable all the time. You know what I mean? Like
I mean,
I
I'm
wouldn't
miserable
trade
too.
it in for
Look,
anything. But you know,
I want to be
it's just really
miserable with
fucking
a job
hard.
that I want to do at
Yeah.
least, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why waste your time doing anything else? you know?
Exactly.
I'd rather like be struggling and doing the thing that I want to do than be like bored out of my mind doing something I don't want to do.
Which is why I skipped work today, or I called out sick on work today.
I wouldn't put that out.
No
Just
one's
in
gonna
the
find this.
You never know.
Hopefully, by the time this goes up, I'm
higher
like
ups
done with
are-
that job.
Yeah, the
to be
higher ups are right
honest.
there, are just looking for you.
Yo, what can Home Depot do to me?
You working at Home
Yeah, I'm
Depot?
calling you out. Yeah.
Do you have any like discounts?
No,
from there?
I can't. I can't even give myself this.
You-
I could,
he
but I
gets-
could get
he-
fired.
You know what? The only thing he gets discounts on?
What?
Merch.
Home Depot merch.
All
Home
right,
Depot
I
merch.
get an apron. I get Home Depot.
No. The aprons are.
Is that
You
employees
try to get
only?
one of those, you are getting the cops after you.
You know what's
No,
funny?
You can't take home the aprons. Yeah,
can't take home the
those are company property. That's company
Company
property.
That's nuts. Like when I
Property.
worked at Whole Foods, we had like these nice like denim ones.
Yeah,
That
you got to take it home.
Yeah, well, you could, but they would take like $50.
Yeah, I know. It's probably the same thing. Take your whole like paycheck because you took home like a single
worth it.
apron.
It's
Yeah,
worth it.
but I could probably smuggle. Probably the day I quit, I just like say like
fucking come
just
searching for you, bro.
Yeah, just come.
Fucking a picture of you like in the front.
Yeah. But I mean, Erica, thank you so much for talking.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
having me.
sorry
This
about
is
the
a
whole
blast.
mess that we are.
No,
But,
you're not a mess at all. This is great. I'm so
Yeah.
glad to have been able to connect with you
Yeah.
guys. Thank you for
But
having
yeah,
me.
I mean, and like we would love to even come back and have you and the band talk like as a band or stuff like that. Or,
Yeah,
like,
I would love that.
We'll see how we could play it, but I forgot my words. Thank you for coming on, essentially.
Yes, thank you for having
do,
me.
do you have like any last words? Like how you
Yeah,
wanna
any
end off?
shout outs, any last words, any pieces of advice?
I think I'm gonna shout out my brother Peter Enriquez and
Peter.
my
Have a job for me.
Mr.
whole-
Enriquez.
Mr. Peterson, and the whole family at Short Stack Studios in Greenpoint. If you ever need to record anything, go to Short Stack. My band CHOO CHOO, which is me, Erica Enriquez, my brother Peter Enriquez, Isaiah Hazard, which is my drummer, Connor Duke on the drums, Tiff, who is an amazing photographer, made this hat. And who else do I have to thank? My mom and dad. And New York, I love you, I guess. Something like that.
Cool.
Rock and roll. Thank you so much.
So, see you guys in the next episode. I've been Daniel. This is David. And look
Dare
forward
you,
to the
how
next
dare
episode.
you talk in my behalf?
Listen, you get to be first on the business card. Let me have this.
All right, sounds good.
See you guys in the next one.